Okay, so welcome to Grumpy Vegan Grandad. So, a few things today I want to talk about, just things that have been popping up in my news feeds, through emails, on certain little sites, social media that have piqued my curiosity. First of all, I want to excuse my appearance. I'm just trying to get a scruffy look. I'm filming this Saturday on a little short drama film. So I will be doing some behind the scenes interviews and filming there to let you guys see what I've been up to this weekend. And yes, so I'm looking a bit scruffy and a bit rough around the edges. So vegan deterioration, yeah, on purpose. All right, don't put any bullshit. Yeah, and it's in the morning as well. Feeling tired. Oh, does anybody love stretches? Stretches in the morning. Oh. So, let's have a look. So the first thing that caught my attention is this. And over the last 12 months, the government has been looking at rehashing the trespass laws, and somebody sent me this link to petition the government to basically not do this. So let's have a little read about what it's all about. The government's manifesto stated, "We will make intentional trespass a criminal offence. An extreme, illiberal and unnecessary attack on ancient freedoms that would threaten walkers, campers and the wider public. It would further tilt the law in favour of the landowning 1% who own half the country." Fact. For 1,000 years, trespass has been a civil offence, but now the government is proposing to make trespass a criminal offence, a crime against the state. Doing so could criminalise ramblers who stray even slightly from the path, remove the ability of local residents to establish new rights of way, criminalise wild camping, denying hikers a night under the stars, clamp down on peaceful protest and fundamental right and an essential part of our democracy, impact traveller communities. Okay, so I had a little think about this. Now, for those of you who aren't aware of British, because Scotland, I think they've got different laws, British and Welsh trespass laws, they go like this. I can walk onto any property, be it private or business, uninvited. But the minute somebody tells me, the owner of the land or the representative, to leave the land, the minute I don't leave at that point is the minute I become a lawbreaker. That's the minute you break the law. Trespassing itself, walking onto somebody's land, walking up someone's drive, walking through a field, is not trespass. It's not sorry, I'll say that again. Walking across someone's drive, walking on someone's land, walking into a building, whatever, is trespass, but it's not aggravated trespass. Trespass is a civil offence. You're not breaking the law. You're only breaking the law when you're told to leave and you don't. That's when it becomes aggravated trespass. So the government are trying to outlaw this basic right. Now, some of you may be thinking, well, that's a good thing, isn't it? That's a good thing. But again, 1% own, what is it? Half the country. So these landowners who own half the country are basically banning us, would in theory be able to ban us from going on. And that's all the countryside, or you wouldn't be able to go camping out anywhere you wanted, you wouldn't be able to walk anywhere you wanted. And we start bringing things down from a free country to a controlled country, which is in itself pretty dangerous. And obviously, people go and exposing wrongdoings, malpractice, maybe people investigating modern day slavery, sneaking onto properties, animal rights, all these injustices that are taking place behind closed doors would not be able to be exposed if the government bring this in. But then I read a little bit further, and I'm not sure it's as it says, but it still doesn't change things, because, like I explain later, they've already got nearly 40,000 signatures and it's still rising. But then I read the responses to the consultation and see what they're actually doing. The law of trespass is largely one of common law, with the courts developing the law and resolving disputes based on the circumstances of the case. However, following the powers of dealing with unauthorised development and encampments consultation in 2018, it was clear that action is needed to address the sense of unease and intimidation residents feel when an unauthorised encampment occurs, the frustration of not being able to access amenities, public land, business premises, and the waste and cost that is left once the encampment has moved on. There is a need to strengthen police powers, in particular powers to tackle unauthorised encampments. So that bit is talking about setting up an encampment on public land, and that is going to affect the traveller community. Now, yes, traveller community, they do move on to a place, they do leave a shitload of rubbish, it's cleaned up, and then everything's back to normal. Yeah? They've been around for thousands of years, they're an alternative lifestyle. Who are we to judge? Yeah? We're a rich country, very, very rich country. We spend billions on bombs and weapons. So I'm sure cleaning up a bit of shit after a few travellers have moved in and spent the time there and moved on, not that real bad, is it? But the whole thing is denting our freedoms. As a result, the government launched a consultation in 2009 to seek views on how the act of trespass when setting up or residing on an unauthorised encampment could be criminalised, or whether it is preferable to extend the current police powers to direct people away from unauthorised sites. Such measures would not affect ramblers, the right to roam, or rights of way. Instead, measures could be applied in specific circumstances relating to trespass with intent to reside. The current Home Office consultation sets out a number of options for consideration, including trespass legislation, such as that which has existed in the Republic of Ireland since 2002. The legislation provides for an offence where the trespasser is likely to substantially damage the land or interfere with it. The police may direct trespassers to leave, and failure to comply with that direction is an offence. Trespass is also a criminal offence in Scotland. The Trespass Scotland Act specifically excludes the exercise of recreational and roaming access rights. All of these issues will be carefully considered as part of the consultation. Now that seems, in itself, that seems fair. But again, when a government starts playing with rights that we've had for thousands of years, once a government starts reducing our rights, our human rights that we've always had, the next step is easier. The next step is that much more accessible to them. Look at Nazi Germany. Yeah, first of all, they said no Jews can own businesses. That was the first step. And all the Germans agree with it. Yeah. They're raking in all the money while we all starve with the recession, with the all the reparations from World War I that we have to pay, and the Jews are raking it in. So the Germans agree with it. One little step, right? Take the businesses off the Jews. And then we all know where the next step went. We all know where it went from there. I'm not saying this is as extreme as that. However, the minute a government takes away one little tiny bit of our rights, it's a stepping stone to the next bit. Once the government starts increasing police powers, it's one small step to getting more and more and more power. The police already abuse a lot of the powers. They already abuse a lot of the powers. Stop and search. Pulling people for doing photography in public. They don't know the law, but they use different things. Terrorism act they like to use on photographers if they want to see what's on the camera, It's a slippy, slidey slope to control. Very, very slippy slide. And this seems very much directed towards the traveller community. Very, very much. But it's also going to affect the homeless, because they encamp in places. They make little camps together under bypasses and in old buildings. So they will be made criminals by finding shelter together and safety in numbers. So this may seem good to all the affluent people out there who have the nice village greens or open spaces accessible, and they get a little bit inconvenienced when a few travellers move in and it takes them a month to get them out, and then they've got a big clean-up after. Yeah, all right, it's a bit of an inconvenience, but does that speak about society itself? I mean, why don't the government, instead of doing this, create more encampments for travellers to stop at? Why don't they put space aside? They've only got a few. And yes, I know some of you are thinking, some of them, they move into towns and the crime goes up, and not all travellers are like that. You can't tar a whole society of people for the actions of a few. You cannot do that. They're not all criminals at all, Yes, they do leave a mess. Well, so do festival goers. So do beach goers. So that's not a big deal. So yes, I would strongly advise you all to have a think about this. I will leave the link to this petition, and if you feel like you agree with me that it's taken away our rights, it's a little step to control on our freedoms in this country, then sign this petition. Sign it. What's next on Grumpy's news? Right, okay, so this piqued my interest. This banana tree relative could cut COVID-19 plastic waste. The abaca. Now, I haven't had a look at it, but apparently it's the banana tree relative. And the single-use plastics problem we have in this world that we live in, this could help. Because basically, the Philippines is the world's leading producer of abaca, and according to the Food and Agriculture Organization of the United Nations, grew 85% of the world's supply in 2017. It is primarily processed into specialty paper for use in tea bags, banknotes, cigarette filters, and single-use medical items. While harvesting and processing abaca, I'll call it abaca, is labour-intensive. Abaca is as durable as polyester and decomposes in just 2 months. There's the key. It decomposes. So what they're saying is that all this PPE that we're using at the moment, which is masses of single-use plastics, this could be the key to stopping the single-use plastic sort of plague that's hitting the world at the moment. And it degrades in 2 months. They need to look into this. This is... While many companies seek to replace plastic in PPE such as masks, some remain concerned that biodegradable alternatives will reduce effectiveness. The Philippine Department of Science and Technology recently carried out a preliminary study accessing abaca for use in masks. It found that abaca paper has pore sizes within the US Centers for Disease Control and Prevention's recommended range to filter hazardous particles. It is also more water resistant than some existing commercial masks. So yeah, perfect. And what other uses could they put this to? I mean, if it can be made into masks and stuff like that, what other things can we make out of it? But yeah. Philippines. So the old abaca tree, abaca. Let's see how that develops. Earwax. Right, this has got me a little bit angry. Mr. Old Slimo pube head Simon Cowell, 60 years old. He had a little accident on his electric bike, and he's fractured his back in a few places. And he's gone back to eating meat to help his recovery. And it's just like, why? Why has he done this? It's like, what is that? Ooh, what is that magical ingredient in meat that will help his bones heal? I don't get it. So, did he go vegan or did he go plant-based? Well, obviously he went plant-based. He went plant-based and he lost weight and he looked really good. And he's got 1.7 million followers. 1.7 million followers on Instagram. And obviously, worldwide following. Obviously a worldwide following as well. He's on TV. And I thought, when he first said he'd gone vegan, I thought, great. That's great. His reach will reach millions and millions and millions. I thought, great. I don't think he went vegan, do you? I think he went plant-based. And now he's gone back to meat because for some reason he thinks that meat is this magic cure-all that cures broken bones. Is it the dairy? It's not the dairy actually, because I've been reading it, and apparently he's having beef bolognese, his favourite dish, and all these other meat-based dishes. It's meat he's gone back to. It's not even, I know dairy isn't good for bones, but he's not even used the calcium in dairy sort of excuse. He's come back to meat. What a fucking prick. And that annoys me because the initial turn when he went vegan was so good. When people who are that famous do this, it influences a lot of other people. But once people who are that famous fail and go back to meat, it just gives us such a fucking kick in the bollocks. It gives the vegan movement such a kick in the fucking ass. Because people will go, oh, why has he gone back? Look, he's broke his back and now he's gone back to meat. Shit. He needs to go back to meat to heal. Fucking ridiculous. So, Simon, up yours. You were a prick before. I liked you when you went vegan. Now you're back to being a prick again. Fucking hell. Anyway, finally, as you know, I'm an actor. Whether I'm a good one, I don't know. We'll soon find out. But while I'm trawling around the actor websites and actor apps for work, I come across this young lady, not this young lady on the picture, Isabella Raphael. And she was advertising for actors to talk about their bodies. Or people just to talk about their bodies, because there's reality TV options on this app that I'm on. And she wanted us to tape ourselves talking about our bodies. Because, right, okay, so this project was inspired by my own body image experiences and the letters I once addressed to my body in an attempt to appreciate myself when I was younger. Now, I was the same when I was younger. I thought I was this skinny, weak guy, and I was really I didn't like my body. I've seen pictures of myself since, and I look great, but at the time I couldn't see that, and I think we're all guilty of feeling anxious and worried about our own bodies. Or at least some of us are. And this young lady has made a video of quite a few people all talking about their experiences. Just little snippets. We all talked a little bit about our own bodies. I'll play a little bit for you now.
Dear body.
Dear body.
Dear body.
Dear body.
Dear body.
Dear body.
Dear body. Our relationship has never been easy.
I'm sorry for mistreating you.
I don't like you very much.
I wanted to make this video for a while now, but
this is such a strange feeling.
And above all, I haven't loved you as much as I should have.
All in a vain effort to look like the perfect man.
Who's that handsome bugger?
Or society's version of the perfect man.
For being ashamed of your stretch marks, hiding your freckles.
I've wanted to change my legs. I've wanted to change my arms.
So, yeah, it's a nice little video. So, anybody sort of like going through that at the moment, click on this. I'll put the link there. I'll also put it in the description down below. And have a look at that. and it might influence you to talk about your own body, and maybe just talk to yourself about it, because it's weird how the perceptions of our own body stop us doing things that we love, and we shouldn't be like that. We shouldn't be like that. If your body is healthy, if your body works fine, right, be grateful. It doesn't matter what it looks like. Just be grateful that you can run, you can walk, you can jump, you can scream, you can shout, you can pick up things. You know, for those of you with disabilities, just, you know, you should, again, just relish the fact of what you can do. There's always somebody worse off than you. I mean, there's people with not enough food to eat. There's people who don't have any clean water to drink. There's people who are stuck in hospitals who can't get out of hospital. There's people who never see the light of day, you know. We've all got hang-ups, but we should learn to love our bodies. We should learn to love our bodies. Don't be anxious over your body. Yeah. I'm just thinking back to when I was young, and yeah, it really stopped me doing certain things, and it was uncalled for. I've got hang-ups now, I've got a few hang-ups now, but nothing major, you know what I mean? So I'm just looking at myself now, looking at myself thinking, critical. We always so criticise ourselves, don't we? It's crazy. But yeah, have a look at this video. Have a look. And remember, save the animals, save the planet, save yourself. Oops. Go vegan. I don't know why did I wink then? What a prick.